Hi, I'm Brad Redding, the Director of Instruction at the Members Course at Grand Dunes in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. From a lot of my YouTube videos and the ones I post on my Facebook page, you've seen I've used these noodles a lot. And I like them for a simple reason is they're very visual. And all they really are, you can build your own. All they are is really two shafts jammed inside one another. And then I've used a kid's swim noodle. I put that through the noodle. And now I can put the club on the same angle. It would be addressed. So the noodle here would be on the same angle as the club shaft at address. Okay? I use what's called a driveway marker out here. Put the ball in front of that. And so this would actually be my target line. I'd be this side of it. But now I've got this noodle back here. Help me understand what's going on. I use them a lot because I want to help people learn how to use this thing. And these being very visual allows them to understand how the club should be used. And that's important to me because I want to make sure they understand. My instruction is not about have to or you need to do this. I explain to them what they should do and why they should do it. Not just what they should do. They have to understand why they should do it that way and then the ways we practice it to get it there. So for certain golfers means certain things. What I mean by that is that it depends on who's in front of me. You can't give what I call generic information. Generic is not helpful for everyone. It may help some, but it wouldn't help everyone. I want to help them understand, okay, here's where you are, here's what you need to do to change it, here's how you do it, and here's where we're going. Okay? So if I had a slicer, the typical slice move in, up, and over, bases open, golf ball slice off the right. And about 75% of the population have somewhat of that move. And again, they may not hit all of them that way, but their tendencies that way. 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, they tend to do that. So they may hit some that they pull dead left, but that's only 1 out of 10. I'm going after their tendency. So if they tend to do that move in, they can now see how much below the plane they are. And because they're so below, they got to go up and now you got to go over. Okay? So the idea of hitting ball and ground, which is actually correct, but correct for certain types of golfers, that information for that person would be terrible. They're already too much in front of it to begin with. They're in, they're up, they're over. That's way too far in front of it. So they need something a little bit different to help them find the back of the golf ball. So if they hit a little bit of ground, then ball, that wouldn't bother me too much. They catch it thin, yeah. The golf ball may start a little off to the right, yeah. But that would be okay for them because they're the exact opposite. And then what I can do from there is help them find the middle. So for the person that has that in, up, and over move, I'm going the other way. I'm going to go back more along the plane. To either come more up above the plane, they can do it several ways. They can cock their wrist up. They can kind of lift their arms up a little bit. I don't mind that. Okay? And then keep on turning to the top. So now they're more up and then in. And now what I want them to do is come below that, more under it. That would help them find the back of the golf ball. So I call that up, in, and under because they're in, up, and over. When they go in, they got nowhere to go except up. So at this point, they're not in at all. They're up, in, up. Okay? And from here, I'm going to tend to go that way every time. I've got to help them get the club more in a position back here to help them find the back of the golf ball. So be more up, and now I want to go in. I'm going to turn and go more in. And now I've got in a place where I can come more under and find the back of the golf ball. That'd be a good move for that person. So if you're having that problem of hitting slices, get your little station like this and make swings where all you do is go in, up, that's your old move. We want to go more up and in. Just watch the noodle. That's where you've been, and now we want to go the other way. Up, in, and under. That's going to help them find the back of the golf ball. that'd be a good move for them. I would call that more of a recreational golfer, handicaps of 15 and above. Now, if you're a pretty decent player, okay, and your problem is more pushes, hooks, occasionally a good shot, divot's pretty shallow, you're a pretty good driver of the golf ball, okay, well, you've already got too much of that. You come too much this way. Popular term right now is it's being stuck. They're stuck behind them, and they use their hands to kind of catch up. They use their hands to flip the club face over. It closes the face, and it goes okay, or pushed, or hook. So your timing has to be really good that way. Now, for the average golfer, the recreational golfer, that's great for them. I want to get them to learn how to use the club and use their hands, because they're not using their hands at all. They're not using the path and the club at all. They're using the body too much. Well, what I would do for that really good player, okay, I'm going to put the noodle in a different place. I'm going to put it over here, in front of the golf ball. I won't put it right on the target line. I'll go just a little bit to the outside target line, but definitely in front of him. Roughly about 3 feet in front of him. And again, put on a little bit of it of the same angle as the club shaft at address. And here's what I want that golfer to do. I want them to, again, miss the noodle below the noodle on the way down. That gets them more on top of the golf ball. So the idea of hitting ball and ground for that person, great idea. Great idea. Because they're too much this way. So what I want to do is reverse that a little bit. Put the noodle in front of them, and I say, all I'm asking you to do is make her swing and get that club to miss the noodle to the inside. Automatically, they'd go more back on top of the plane, this way, and work it more that way. Now, at first, they may hit hooks, because they're still going to use their hands. But I call those things have-tos. He had to use his hands to square the face up before. Okay? Well, after a while, have-tos turn into habits. He's done it for a while. So he had to close the club face with his hands because the path was too shallow. So he had to do that. Now what I want to do is get him more up here, miss that noodle below it, and now he won't have to use his hands. He will at first, obviously. Been doing it for a while. But now the golf ball's telling him, don't do that. So with a little bit of help from my perspective, I would help them get the club to miss that noodle and release the golf ball, release into the golf ball more with their body and not with their hands. The average golfer, you doggone right. I want them to use their hands. They've got to learn how to find the back of the golf ball. But this guy's already pretty good. All right? He knows how to use his hands. I got to retrain his hands, help him miss it. So the good golfer hit pushes, hooks, pretty good shots, pretty good drive of the golf ball. Then it goes in front, back to the top, and now I want them to miss that. After a while, they would start swinging the club more back on top of the plane, not inside so much. And when I do that, you also notice that when I shallow it out, I kind of early extend. That's okay for the average golfer, because all I'm worried about is him finding the back of the golf ball, making better contact. For this guy, this person, this is going to help them stay more in their posture on the way through and take their hands and not use their hands the same way they did before. So again, it depends on who's in front of me. If you're the golfer, the recreational golfer that has problem with slices, pull slices, that noodle goes back here. And what you want to do is you want to miss it outside of it and under it. For the good golfer, good driver of the golf ball, pretty good golfer, but misses it right, pushes right, and has it more stuck behind them and has to use their hands. I want the noodle in front of you, and now what you want to do is go back to the top and now get that club back more on top of the plane so you can find more ball than ground, and miss that noodle to your finish. Okay? This will help get your individual golf swing to stay on plane.